Hello, my name is Amy Banks, and I'm the competition manager for the School-Based Mental Health Services Grant Program. This module of the Grant Management and Administration training will focus on record keeping, the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, and audit requirements. So, record keeping here refers to a viable system that includes copies of the following. I won't read all of these. However, generally, you can understand this to mean your current, most recently approved budget, any policies or procedures for overseeing and implementing the grant. Basically, anything that's grant related needs to be kept in a system where you can easily refer to it, find it, others around you can that have need to know that may need to, for any reporting purposes, have access to these documents. You need to have an inventory of anything that you've purchased or leased, a copy of your evaluation plan with the timelines and measurement instruments, audits, so on and so forth. It's important to maintain records for record keeping. So doing so meets the requirements of two codes of federal regulation that are listed here. You can also find information about the retention period in terms of record retention. That is 3 years after the grant ends and is closed out. The reference in Edgar is there, and the exceptions to that under litigation and audit. So please refer to these regulations when it comes to the system that you develop for record keeping under this grant program. The Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA. So this was an act from 1966 on forward, and generally it means that anybody has the right to request access to federal agency records or information. That includes your grant application. All agencies of the U.S. government are required to disclose records upon receiving a request for them. So what is excluded if this does occur is any personal, in-kind contributions and any proprietary information. So it would be somewhat redacted if this was a request, but not completely under this act. Audit requirements. There are two types of audits that we are talking about today. That would be grantee initiated and an OIG, or Office of Inspector General, audit. So for a grantee initiated audit, that refers to any grantee that expends $500,000 or more annually of federal funds. If that's what you've been awarded simply under this grant, or in combination with other federal grants, need to have a non-federal audit performed yearly and submit that report to the Federal Audit Clearinghouse. So this would mean using an independent auditor complying with OMB Circular A133, and there's requirements also provided in Attachment C of that circular. It's important to note that both the SBMH and the MHSP program are not included in the Audit Compliance Supplement, or the OMB Circular A133, but instead auditors should use Part 7, and that's called Guidance for Auditing Programs Not Included in the Compliance Supplement. An OIG trigger audit is when there's an audit based on complaints or serious audit findings. So we have an office that reviews audit reports. if an OIG audit is triggered by any serious findings that have been identified. Here you can find some recommended documents to provide to any auditors that would audit you under this grant. So that list is here. These are simply recommendations. You can add to this list or select from it. Some reasons for audit findings that have been common are poor record keeping. And we do have a module talking about record keeping here, right? Unallowable costs or activities. If you are doing or spending grant funds on things that are not allowable. If there's missing time and effort reports for staff, if you don't follow procurement standards, if there's a lack of internal controls, or failure to obtain prior approval before expending or encumbering funds, incorrect calculation of the indirect cost rate, or excessive or infrequent drawdowns or poor cash management.